Hello, this is Gloomy Sunday, and once again, I will be sharing spooky stories that will send shivers down your thorny spine. Without further ado, let's begin tonight's creepy, spooky, and sometimes outlandish array of tales. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. In a quaint little village nestled amongst the rolling hills and lush forests, there was a toy shop unlike any other. The shop was run by a mysterious old man named Mr. Pavlova, who was said to possess strange and powerful magic that brought his toys to life. One day, a young girl named Katerina stumbled upon the toy shop while exploring the village. Intrigued by the colorful display of toys in the window, she pushed open the creaky door and stepped inside. The shop was filled with all sorts of toys: plush animals, wooden soldiers, and intricate puzzles. But one doll caught Katerina's eye in particular. It was a doll that looked almost exactly like an American Girl doll, with silky blonde hair and bright blue eyes. But there was something off about her. Her eyes seemed to gleam with an otherworldly light, and her smile held a hint of mischief. Katerina couldn't tear her gaze away from the doll, and before she knew it, she found herself reaching out to pick her up. As soon as Katerina's fingers touched the doll, a shiver ran down her spine. The doll's eyes seemed to flicker for a moment, and then she blinked, a movement that should have been impossible for a mere toy. Katerina quickly pulled her hand back, feeling a sense of unease creep over her. Mr. Pavlova appeared from behind a towering stack of toys, his eyes twinkling with amusement.
"Ah, I see you found Malvina,"
he said, gesturing to the doll in Katerina's hands.
"She's a special one, that one. Not like any other doll in the shop."
Katerina's heart raced as Mr. Pavlova spoke, her curiosity piqued even further. "What do you mean, she's special?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The old man chuckled, his voice like the rustling of leaves in the wind.
"Malvina is not just any ordinary doll, my dear. She hails from a place far beyond our world, where magic and mystery reign supreme. She may look like an American Girl doll on the outside, but inside, she holds secrets and powers that few can comprehend."
Katerina's eyes widened in astonishment. She had never heard of such a thing, a doll from another realm, possessing magical abilities. She looked down at Malvina, who seemed to be studying her with an intense gaze. Katerina couldn't shake the feeling that the doll was somehow alive, that she held a consciousness of her own. Mr. Pavlova went on to explain that Malvina had been brought to his shop by a traveler from a distant land, who had claimed that the doll needed to be hidden away from prying eyes. The traveler had warned Mr. Pavlova that Malvina was not to be underestimated, that her powers could manifest in unexpected ways if she was not treated with caution. As Katerina listened to the old man's tale, a sense of foreboding settled over her. She could sense that there was more to Malvina than met the eye, that there was a darkness lurking beneath her vinyl skin. And yet, despite her misgivings, she felt drawn to the doll as if they shared a bond that went beyond mere curiosity. Days turned into weeks, and Katerina found herself spending more and more time with Malvina. She would brush her hair, dress her in different outfits, and even talk to her as if she were a real person. Malvina never spoke back, but Katerina could swear she saw the doll's lips twitch in response to her words. But as time went on, strange things began to happen in the village. Crops withered and died, animals went missing, and a sense of unease settled over the villagers. Rumors began to spread that a malevolent force was at work, that a darkness had descended upon the once peaceful village. Katerina couldn't shake the feeling that Malvina was somehow connected to the strange occurrences. She noticed that whenever she was near the doll, a chill would run down her spine, as if the very air around them had grown cold. And then one night, as she lay in bed, she heard a soft whisper in her ear, a voice that sounded strangely like Malvina's.
Release me, Katerina.
The voice hissed, sending a shiver of fear down Katerina's spine.
I am not a mere doll. I am a being of power and darkness. Release me, and together we will rule this world.
Katerina's heart pounded in her chest as she realized the truth. Malvina was not a harmless doll. She was a creature of darkness that had been imprisoned in a toy by powerful magic. And now, she sought to break free and unleash her malevolence upon the world. Determined to stop Malvina, Katerina enlisted the help of Mr. Pavlova, who revealed that the only way to contain the doll's power was to destroy her vessel, her cloth and vinyl body. With a heavy heart, Katerina took a bottle of gasoline and doused Malvina with it. She lit the doll on fire, watching as the doll's eyes dimmed and her smile faded away as she burned. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, a sense of peace settled over the village once more. The darkness that had plagued them was gone, banished by the brave actions of a young girl and an old toy maker. And though Malvina was no more, her memory lived on as a cautionary tale of the dangers that lurked in the shadows. And so, the toy shop stood silent and still, its shelves filled with toys that would never again come to life. Mr. Pavlova smiled sadly as he watched Katerina leave the village, knowing that she had faced a darkness most could never comprehend. And as he turned to go back inside, a faint whisper carried on the wind, a voice that sounded strangely like Malvina's, a voice that promised revenge and redemption. But for now, the village was safe, bathed in the light of a new day. I just love scary doll stories. I would like to thank Kelly Lays for submitting this wonderful story to us. Kelly actually submitted several stories, so we will be reading some in the upcoming days. Kelly also has her own AG YouTube channel, which is Cool AG Doll Stuff. I will make sure to share her channel link in the description. Go check her out. Now on to the next story. This happened a while back. During our summer vacation, my friends and I decided to go to Subic, Zambales for a quick trip. We are all Filipinos, by the way. One of my older friends and her husband were expecting a baby. Let's call this friend Elena. During the trip, Elena was very limited to the activities we did because of her pregnancy. There are lots of superstition in the Philippines. Like if you're pregnant, you are not allowed to go in an open water because your baby might be taken away. We went to the beach, and to our surprise, Elena went fearlessly into the water. I guessed we should have told her not to, but we all didn't really care about the superstitions since we all thought that we are already in the modern era. We all frolicked in the water and had a good time. A couple of weeks after the trip, I had a lot of nightmares. It was always a lady who was drenched in water. She had a bloody face, thick dark hair, pale skin, and was very skinny. She would always chase me around my neighborhood in the middle of the night, or choke me in my living room and bedroom. She would laugh the whole time while she was trying to kill me. Every time I tried to demand who she was, her eyes would just get bigger, and she would laugh even more. It got to the point that I was always crying when I wake up from the nightmares, and I no longer want to fall asleep. The last nightmare I had of her, she stabbed me in my stomach with her sharp claws. As I was laying there trying to see if any blood was coming out of my stab wound, she laughed. I again asked her who she was and why she hated and want to kill me. Why does she keep coming into my dreams? She told me she had come for revenge. She said we had taken her life away and now she had come to torture us. I asked her again who she was because I have no idea why she had such a deep hatred for me. And us. There were others. She shouted at me in Filipino.
I am Elena's daughter. The one you guys killed.
After she said that, I woke up and I was so confused, and at this point, I was scared because it was dark, and I couldn't tell what was real and what was a dream anymore. The next day I found out that Elena lost her baby. When I heard this, I got pretty freaked out. A couple of days later I got sick, and called my parents and told them. They consulted an albulario, a witch doctor, for me, and they did a ritual to appease the spirit. Even up to this day, I had never told Elena about my dreams. It could have just been a coincidence, but I haven't had any nightmares since. That was very creepy. While it is okay to be skeptical, I believe that it is better to err on the side of caution. Poor baby girl. I hope you enjoyed our spooky and strange stories. Join us next time for more. Take care and boo-bye.